We first visited this marijuana garden with Eric Sly during the height of the summer growing season. Now we're back 2 months later, right before the fall harvest.
When the plants have kind of reached a certain point, it's time to cut them down.
Remember, the marijuana bud itself is where the money is. Within weeks, this crop will be dried and ready for sale.
You know, it's hard to tell how much the marijuana is actually going to sell for on the open market as well. You know, is that price going to be increased because of less supply? Is it going to be decreased because there's more supply? You know, it's hard to tell how much marijuana is out there.
The basic law of supply and demand, just a normal part of life in Northern California's Emerald Triangle.
Sometimes I feel like I'm in a bubble because I just really don't know what it's like to not grow marijuana.
Coming up.
The biggest game in the private community of Augusta.
A story straight out of the hit series Weeds. A suburban mom goes back to school.
My husband is at the swim meet right now with my 3 boys because I'm here at class.
For some higher education.
I can see that perhaps in the future that could be my new calling.
But first.
I hate to say it, but Mendocino County is the true epitome of 2008's Wild Wild West.
911 emergency reporting.
Please help me. The guy's got a gun.
The dark side of life in pot country. That's next when Marijuana Inc. Inside America's Pot Industry returns.
Tucked away amid lush vineyards and gentle hillsides, Potter Valley is one of the most beautiful small towns in all of Northern California. For Joy Tucker, it's a special place. She grew up here and loved it so much she returned with her husband Sam and built a life with their 2 children. But today, she's leaving for good.
Today we're moving. Lots of boxes, trucks, friends and family that will help us out with that move.
What do you want, man? Take your pick.
After 9 years, the Tucker family is leaving because Potter Valley has gone to pot, literally. The family is surrounded by neighbors who are growing marijuana.
There's at least 13 gardens within a mile radius of our home.
13 gardens right around your house?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Wow. Joy Tucker worked as the elementary school principal here, where she says she had 3rd graders whose backpacks reeked from the residue of their parents' pot plants. The final straw came when the house next door, used to grow marijuana, went up in flames.
When we looked out the window, we saw the whole place was on fire.
It was not an isolated incident. One local fire chief estimates more than 50% of all fires in the area are linked to growing pot.
To have the house next door burn down because they're in there smoking it and growing it was a big thing.
You're saying then it has gotten so bad here that you're willing to pack up and leave your whole life here behind to go start over somewhere else.
That's true. We're just not going to take that chance with the kids.
And there's more. Law enforcement officials say local growers often use guns and pit bulls for protection. They are the seeds sown by Mendocino County law, which for years has allowed each of the 88,000 residents here to grow up to 25 marijuana plants for medicinal, even recreational use. Mendocino County Sheriff Tom Allman is on the front line of this community's struggle with marijuana.
People were saying, it's just marijuana. What could possibly go wrong? And now we're seeing what could possibly go wrong.
He told us about an entire neighborhood that wasn't what it seemed.
You're ready for Aunt B to walk out and say hi to Auntie Griffith, and you walk in the door, and it's nothing but mature marijuana. Some of the houses looked like beautiful houses, and there wasn't a single chair in any of them.
What do you mean there wasn't a single chair in any of them?
They were all indoor grows that had been built to make it look like a house with nice wood, white shutters.
So a complete facade.
Absolutely.
Allman says that marijuana commerce is now so brazen, growers even ship their pot to customers via FedEx and UPS, though without the company's approval.
If you were a business that sold shoes and somebody in Florida wanted to buy your shoes, how would you get those shoes to Florida?
Well, shoes and marijuana are 2 different things.
It's a commodity, and right now, the commodity's been abused.
This is an actual illegal industry that reaps huge profits, and nothing is really stopping it.
Jim Wattenberger was the chairman of Mendocino County's Board of Supervisors.
Does this economy depend on marijuana?
Trish, I'd say that if marijuana was to be 100% eradicated, this county would become destitute. The small mom and pop grocery store, the agricultural product supply store, they're making probably 90% of their annual budget off of products that they're selling that help provide this product of marijuana in this county.
How many people are really engaging in this?
It's very unfortunate for me to state, but I believe about 60% of our populace is involved in one shape or another in the marijuana industry.
60%?
Yes. It's embarrassing as hell. I'm ashamed that we're known for this. I'm telling you these facts in an effort to turn the tide, to look for state and federal help.
We went to the Federal Drug Enforcement Administration to see how an industry based on a drug banned by U.S. law could flourish so openly.
There's a low risk of getting arrested.
Javier Pena spent years running federal marijuana enforcement in Northern California.
If you have parts of Northern California in which economies are completely dependent on marijuana, isn't that on your shoulders as DEA?
I will enforce the law. I will go after the biggest and the baddest. But blaming DEA for a marijuana-based economy, I would say that is not correct.
Well, who else is going to control this?
It's the people who have voted for the legalization of marijuana. Under federal law, illegal. Under state, it's legal. But as far as blaming DEA for a narco-based economy, I think that's not a correct assumption.
I hate to say it, but Mendocino County is the true epitome of 2008's Wild Wild West.
36 and 13 units to clear that location.
Just how wild it is can be felt in a new crime wave that's hit this region.
Mr. Hopkins, your next witness, sir.
More and more thieves are targeting homes believed to contain pot.
This is a Browning Arms 9mm semi-automatic pistol.
This defendant, Renato Hughes, was convicted of assault and burglary. Hughes, along with 2 accomplices, invaded a home to steal marijuana.
911 emergency reporting.
Please help me. The guy's got a gun.
This is the 911 call from a terrified mother.
We need an ambulance. Okay, they slammed my son's head in with the bat.
Next, gunshots. The homeowner shoots and kills Hughes's 2 accomplices. The marijuana trade has grown so large that even the environment is paying a price. This is industrial pollution from illegal pot production.
They were pumping out a lot of marijuana bud.
Jim Harrison, the county's environmental health officer, and Sheriff Tom Allman toured the damage left by a massive indoor marijuana grow.
Doesn't
think he was making $1 million a year?
Easy.
Easy.
I was thinking more like 5 or 6.
Wow.
This is what it looked like months earlier when it was raided. Authorities discovered 2 industrial-sized generators worth $500,000. They were used to power 4 rooms, just like this one, all filled with marijuana. Harrison says that it will cost as much as $50,000 to clean up